We want to take you back out to North St. Louis. We are also invested in this story where a 45-year-old man is trapped in his home. It is at St. Louis Avenue in Newstead. Mark Maxwell, what is the latest on this?
Kelly, I can tell you a couple things. Number one, the fire and police are just consoling some family members outside, saying they have been in verbal contact with a 45-year-old man named Garfield. We now know his name. He's inside the basement in a pantry in the kitchen. He took shelter there when he felt some of the pressure coming through the home, we're told. A lot of neighbors in this area did the same thing. This is a desperate situation. I want to describe some of the strategy that the firefighters are using. They've used some heavy tools, some saws, some chainsaws to start carving up some of the different boards, and they're now using small pieces of those boards to prop up some of the other debris. They're really concerned about their own safety and the safety of the man trapped inside. Should more of this debris start to cave in, that could prove to be a very dangerous situation. So they've already prepared the family here and said this could take some time. All this damage is incredibly heavy, all these bricks and all this wood lying on top of one another, and it's really hard to move that stuff out without risking more of it starting to fall into any of the empty spaces. And of course, the last thing they want to do is make this recovery effort any more difficult than it already is. We know that a number of family members have started to gather around the outside, and they're taking some comfort, some degree of hope in knowing that there is verbal contact. As soon as the first responders can get somewhere close to him, they're communicating some to him. They're letting him know what they're doing. They're trying to, give him some hope that they can get to him and get him safely out of here. But this is just one of the scenes. We've made our way to the back of the home here. The entire front just collapsed. And again, for any of you that are just watching, Andy, if we can show them behind us here too, we're going to turn the camera all the way around and show you this Omni Barber and Beauty Salon, the entire back of the building blown over by the heavy winds that came through here. This is a small business. If just behind us on the other side of this house, there are other homes that have been just torn down to the ground by this strong wind that also collapsed several trees all the way up and down St. Louis Avenue, up and down Natural Bridge Road. It's a lot of fallen trees that are littering the roads up in North City right now. Pretty hard to get around town. But for now, firefighters are taking cover and building up their own support systems as they try to burrow their way through this debris and pull a man to safety. We're standing by hoping we can bring you some good news that he is okay. We don't know his condition, but we're hearing now, it looks like firefighters are looking to get through this fence on the backside. We'll just give you a quick look at what he's using with the Sawzall here to carve through some of this and make way perhaps to pull someone out. It looks like they're trying to clear a way for people to make their way from the inside of the backyard out into this grassy area. And a lot of the family members here, of course, we're trying to be sensitive not to, put them on camera right now, but they've told us off camera just some of what they're going through, Kelly. And so we'll send it back to you unless you have any questions about what's going on here. But it looks like we might be preparing for some sort of a possible exit. We're just guessing by what he would be doing near the fence. It looks like maybe people are preparing to have some kind of an extraction effort from what we can see here. Again, just a guess, but yeah, they're clearing an exit ramp here by pulling this fence away. So we could be seeing something develop here in the next few moments, Kelly.
And that's the thing with so many homes in St. Louis, they're brick, and they're all brick. This home looks like it is all brick. So when you are pulling away these brick by brick, you have to be so careful so nothing caves in. And I'm sure that is what they are doing. And it is painstaking, Mark.
Yeah, it is. And we even heard, again, just for those viewers that might just be tuning in now to see this scene, we heard some of the firefighters describe what they were doing as they talked to each other, as they talked to the volunteers and the family that are surrounding the perimeter here. We've also just been able to watch what they're doing. Yeah, they're taking, it's really quite innovative. They're taking some of the broken wooden beams and using that to prop up some of the other debris just to build kind of a makeshift support system. And we have other first responders now going to the outside of this fence, perhaps to gain access to an alley or a back area here. It's kind of an active scene here. We won't speculate as to exactly what they're doing, but it looks like the firefighters on the edge of the back of this house have just started to create something of a wall here as they prepare perhaps for one of their own to come back out and give them a report. We have some other family and friends coming back through to this side of the house as well. So again, it's a very active scene. Here goes a firefighter going back into what is really the basement level. They're starting on the floor of the first floor, and then they're making their way down into what is the basement. But again, just from what we're hearing from them, it's a really tricky path to get down to that pantry area, which we're told is basically at the center of the house. So the hardest possible place to get to is the basement and the center of this house, and that's the obstacle that these firefighters face right now, trying to pull this man, 45-year-old man named Garfield, to safety.
Okay, well, we are pulling for him and for these first responders and everything that they're doing, because it's a really precarious situation. Mark.